Graduate study is very important. Yes, getting a postgraduate certificate is good for your pedigree, it is good for your career growth, it is good for your personality, it is even good for you in terms of knowledge. It is good for you who wants to diversify. It's good for you who wants to grow in your career. It's good for you who intends to seek for promotion at work. It's good for you who desires to be known globally. It's good for you who wants more connections. You see what? You're not just going to get another degree. You're going to meet new people. You're going to have new meet, broaden your horizon on subjects of law, depending on your area of law or area of specialty. So getting a master's degree or a PhD, depending on what you want, depending on your level, it is a plus. It is not a luxury in terms of if you don't get it, you're not classified as one big lawyer. No, there are big lawyers who do not have a postgraduate study, but with what is involved now, with what is happening in our time, with where we are heading to, with what has is happening globally, you need to step up from just being a lawyer with a normal LLB or a BL to a lawyer that has an LLM or a PhD. You know what? Getting a postgraduate studies need not even be in your field of law, depending on your passion. Just like I told you, your passion fuels what you need to do. Your passion is what fuels your next level. Your vision is what fuels, okay, should I go into business management? Should I go into intellectual property? Should I specify or specialize in this area of law? So your postgraduate studies it can be around your area of specialty. It can be in an entirely different field other than law. But you know what? You did it. Then how do you now prepare? Having explained to you why you need a postgraduate certificate or a postgraduate degree, how do you now prepare? You know something? Preparation is key to success. If you fail to prepare, you have planned to fail. Now, for those who wish to um, get going back to school by next year, for those who desire to, give it a step, give it a trial, you need to start now. It's a long process, so you don't. It's not what you get crash. It's not what you get crash. Even if you want to do it in your country, it's not what you just get crash because it takes a long process. Application, screening, depending on where you are. Application, the screening, then if it's in our local jurisdiction, some schools will even come and tell you to do some exams or do some interview for them to identify you, screen you, look at your document, depending. And you know what? Everything is timed. Not like you can just wake up and go to school. No. Aside the online education or the online platform, even with the online platform, there is the time to start and there is the time to end. So you have to start now to start scouting for schools. Which school fits me? Do I have the money to go abroad? If I don't have money to go abroad, is it I cannot afford schools within your continent? Continent means, for example, you are in Africa, you can ask yourself, do I have what it takes to go to schools within Africa? That might not even be in your country. Do you have what it takes to go abroad? Maybe it could be in the UK, in Asia, in depending on the continent you want to go. Do you have the money? Because if you want to go outside the country of your country to school, it involves some level of financing. Now, that financing might be from you. It can also be via a scholarship. Now, preparation is key. Now you have asked yourself, do I have the funds? Is this something I want to achieve locally or is it what I want to achieve internationally? If it's what you want to achieve internationally, then you have to start looking for funds. You need to start looking for sponsors. You need to start looking for financiers. You need to start looking for opportunities, scholarship opportunities. And you know what? There are scholarship opportunities that run yearly, but you need to know when they start, when the deadline is approaching, what to do, how to be successful. Many at times you have this, you see these scholarship applications, you apply them, but you're not successful because you didn't do the things the right way. You need to ask questions. You need to meet people that have excelled, people that have been recipients of this scholarship. You can ask them questions, they can help you, they can guide you on how best to approach the scholarship, how to get the grant. Sometimes it may not even be form of a scholarship. It could be sometimes a grant. Some bodies, international organizations or associations can just map up a lump sum to give to them. It might not really be a sum that will be able to take care of your studies, but something that can help towards to towards your tuition. It could be something that could help towards your living expenses. It can be something that can help towards your accommodation, transport. These grants come in different forms, and they are so many. There are so many of them, but it's about opportunity. It's about knowing when they are available. So if you have made up your mind to get a postgraduate, degree, then have to start on time. Look out for the school. Look out for the country. You don't just apply to school because somebody is applying to that school. You might know what works for you. What is their payment structure? Peradventure, I need to pay this this course I want to go. Is there opportunities for scholarship? Are they looking for people like me, an African? Are they looking, sometimes some of these scholarship can be gender limited. It could be for women, sometimes it could be for sportsmen, it could be for people that love music, it could be for footballers. There are a lot of these scholarships are graded in different forms. You now look at which one befits me. Some of them can be just be alumni scholarship. It could be a discounted scholarship, depending. So for any school you need to choose, you need to know what are the available scholarships? Are there grants? Are there discounts? What are those things that can even help my study, to be very, effective? You look at the language of a delivery. What is the language they will use in delivery? Sometimes they will tell you you need to be bilingual. So in making plans for your postgraduate studies, these are the considerations. You need to look out for the school, look at what the course you're doing, how many months. Sometimes people want to stay longer than a longer time in that country, and you go and do a 1 year master's program, or let's start from master's because it's either a 1 year or 18 months, sometimes 2 years. So you now want to stay longer time and you're doing a 1 year program. It doesn't work for you. You still have to start looking for course master's program that you can do for 2 years. Now, sometimes people will want to do PhD and maybe you don't have so much time for one reason or the other. Look at there are some programs you can do within 5 years, 3 years, 4 years, depending. All these things is determinant or is determined by the school, by the course, and also by you who is working, availability of supervisors, funds for research. So there are a lot of things you need to consider before you even plan to go for this postgraduate service. So when you have looked at, mapped out your plan, choosing the school, you now start looking out for scholarships. You start applying because these things, as much as you want it, other people want it. So it's something that thousands of people apply. So it's good you apply for five, even if it's 10. If you can do 20 applications for scholarship in different places, please go ahead and do it. At the end of the day, sometimes you see people that say they're recipients of 6 scholarships, and by the time they put all the funds together, it is enough for them to foot their bills. You need to go to school, not be under pressure of funds, not being under the pressure of you need to work to earn. Some people, go to school without even working, but you might choose to work because you're already a qualified lawyer, or you might want to re-qualify in the jurisdiction you're going to. So either way, it is your choice, but you don't need to be under intense pressure because it's not. You don't need to go there and fail because we believe in excellence here. So if you're going for your postgraduate, you're going there to be a scholar. You're going there to excel. You're going there to be the top of your class. So you still need time to study as much as you need money. You need to work and all of that. So with scholarship, it's your level of struggle. At least you know that school is sorted out. Anything you're now working or doing, you do it for your own personal you know, pocket, for family, and for upkeep and all of that. Now, there are schools that have good payment structure. You need to consider that. Some have good payment structure in terms of payment for international students, why some will give you specific time within which you must pay your fees. And you know what? When you owe, your admission can be terminated. That is the risk many people do not consider when they want to travel or when they want to do their postgraduate studies. You must consider the payment structure. Some schools have friendly payment structure, while some do not have friendly payment structure. Now, another thing you have to consider is before you even get to the school you're applying for, map out what will be my area of research. Many people do not even know what their area of research or specialty will be. They just want to get an admission. This will guide it towards looking out for the right courses, having a pre-informed decision on what you want, the area you want to researcher. Like, you know what? Sometimes you might have a topic or the area and it can be changed, but it's good you have an idea because these supervisors want to work with your idea. They want to work with your passion. They want to work with what you love. For example, you have interest in energy or renewable energy. This is for example. Now, you may not have a specific topic or area, but you just love solar energy, biomass. And by the time you're giving a supervisor and you're beginning to discuss, this will guide them into what you really want. Now, another thing also you have to prepare or put down with respect to your application or your process of getting a postgraduate studies is your English language test. Many a times, most schools demand for what they call IELTS. Your English, so you need to do the exam. Whereby in some jurisdiction, for the fact you're from an English-speaking country and your first degree you were taught in English, it can be waived. Some other school will say, we don't want your English language test, but we just want a letter of English proficiency from your university where you acquired your first degree. So these are things your school can give you. So you need to ensure you have that. You need to ensure you have your transcript. There is no way you can do your postgraduate without your transcript. So this will even be the first thing you need to prepare, having your transcript. So when you have your transcript ready, you have your letter of English proficiency, or you have your IELTS, depending on the choice or the requirements of the school. You have your degree certificate. You have all of that documents. Sometimes they might even want to know your WAEC, depending on where you schooled, your WAEC details. So you must have everything down, your birth certificate, all your credentials. You can think of all your credentials, you need to have it. Then if you want to do your postgraduate outside the country, you must have your international passport. You can't start even having your international passport. Having your international passport is very key, because sometimes they want to see an evidence of this international passport because for them you are going to require a visa to come to school, and you need to have an international passport to get the visa. So it is very important for you to have this thing. So when you have them, it's easier for you to fill your application form. If it's for UK, in a day, if you're very consistent or you're very fast, in a day you can fill like three applications. Yes, I'm looking at my own speed. You can apply in three schools. And one thing I love about UK is that their decision makings are fast. If it's long in like 6 weeks, you will have a decision whether they have um, given you admission or not. But from other schools, sometimes it might take as much as 2 months. It might take as much as 90 days for them to give a decision on your application. Another very important document you must not forget is your statement of purpose. Do you know why they ask this statement of purpose? Now, for local schools in your jurisdiction, in your locality, they don't need your statement of purpose. They're like, masters, you don't really take it with so much um not really take it to heart, or put in so much effort, or put in just like you apply, they'll give you if there is an opportunity. But for schools outside the country, they want to, what is your purpose? What is the statement of your purpose? What is your sometimes they tell you, send us a letter of intent, or send us your statement of purpose. What do they want to? They want to know about you. And something, writing a convincing statement of purpose is one of even the first step in considering your admission. Sometimes, as much as they want to look at your qualifications, but your statement of purpose has a higher mark in even considering whether they will give you admission or not. Now, how do you write a statement of purpose? If you go on YouTube, if you go on Google, you can see the best way or how to do this if you do not know. You must give a convincing story. Why do you want to go into that field you want to study in? You want to know what is your drive, what is your passion. These are people that likes to work with what you want. Yes, you see, when you're having discussions with your supervisor wants to know your background. If you wonder, how does my background affect what I want to do? Your supervisor wants to know your personality. Your supervisor wants to know your temperament. Sometimes they want to know, where have you ever got a scholarship before? How were you raised? Are you from an affluent family? Are you from a poor home? They want to relate with you based on who you are. So that is one of the differences between schooling abroad and schooling in your country. Or yes, that is not really abroad in your country. Yes, let's take it like that. So you must have a statement of purpose. You must have a statement of purpose. You must have your CV. These are another document they will have the CV, your cover letter. Sometimes you must have your CV, your application. Now, you can have one statement of purpose, then, as depending on the choice of the school, you can recouch it depending on the because sometimes you want to do, for example, you want to do a master's in business administration, and there is another school you saw that are doing business law and commercial law, or you see another school that is doing human resource and business law. So your statement of purpose, you might have a generic one from which you now change it depending on the school you are applying. Very important. Please, you have a structure. You have one that is already okay. You now have to add, remove, depending on the school and the course you want to do. Sometimes if you want to be a professional human rights personnel or professional. Now you want to do it, for example, you want to do an LLM, law and human resource. You might now see human resource and uh, management. There are a lot of course combinations, unlike what is obtainable in our local, in our jurisdiction. So they have lots of courses that are locked up together. So when you're not doing your statement of purpose, it reflects on what you want to study. Very, 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 very important. So I thought of the documents you need to have handy as you're doing your application. If it's a UK school, if you are determined in a week, let me not just in a week, even with a slow person, you can do two applications. But for schools, like I know one thing